What being a womanizer taught me about women. You know, most guys, most men, especially in this safe of male self-improvement, in this space, most men brag about how many women they could be with, how many women they've had, right? We like to brag about these certain things. But in this video, fellas, I'm gonna be candid with you and share my experiences of womanizing and being with dozens and dozens and dozens of women all over the world, my experiences, my perspective, and ultimately what it taught me about women, about females. Fellas, I've been candid throughout the duration of this channel. I've told you guys many stories about me. And for those of you that are new to my work, to my material, I used to have an insatiable desire for women. I used to have a sexual addiction. And I've been very open about it, very honest about it. And it stemmed from my childhood. When I was a child, one of my babysitters touched me and they molested me. I was about 6, she was about maybe 23, 24. And this went on for quite some time and I had never told anybody about it, right? And this led to me having an insatiable desire for sex, meaning all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, I was super active. And then when I got to college, I was going even crazier. And, you know, as an adult, I had certain issues that I had to sit down and work on in solace. This is one reason why you guys always hear me talk about us men taking out the time to really be alone to figure out who we are. Because as I grew and evolved and matured as a man, I started to take a look at myself and realize that, you know, I was seeking validation outside of myself through the women that I would be with, right? And it would always leave me empty. I've gotten my heart broken multiple times, and also just realizing that I always needed a woman by me, right? Now, I absolutely love women still till this day. I'll get to that in a little bit. I love feminine energy, but it wasn't until I started to realize, like, why do I always need a woman around me? And being with so many women got me into certain sticky situations as well. So in this space, we like to brag about, oh, if I'm a high value male, if I'm an alpha male, if I'm this, I'm gonna have a lot of sexual access and this, that, and the third. I'm telling you right now, fellas, first and foremost, to each their own. I'm not gonna sit here and act like a saint. I still see multiple women, being candid. I'm honest about it. I'm open about it with the women that I see. I currently have some fantastic women in my life, but after being with so many different women and all kinds of different cultures, backgrounds, I learned a lot about human nature, which is why I put out so many videos decoding human nature and female nature and interpersonal dynamics. But all these guys that you see bragging about women and this, that, and the third, here's some things that they don't tell you. Especially if you are a man that's trying to focus, you know, you have a business or you're career driven, you're focused on your career, dealing with a lot of women, a lot of different energies. What I've learned is that it can be super draining, right? I'm a man who I have dozens and dozens of clients. I have to manage their emotions, serve them each month. And to still deal with multiple women on top of that is exhausting, right? At this current stage of my life, I'm super selective with the women that I spend time with because I've had to learn how to value myself. I no longer seek validation externally from the women that I date, which I used to. And a lot of men, unbeknownst to them, they have to keep racking up their notch count because that fills a hole, a void internally that they have. And to me, that's juvenile, right? Many men are walking around here seeking the embrace of a woman because they need it, right? And it's not until you don't need it is when you become free. What do I mean? I'll explain. As men, we should be so focused on developing and cultivating our dream life, a life to where we're so comfortable and proud that we could be in that life alone. And then you invite a woman or women, whatever you fancy, into your life. I used to think that there was a one or there was one woman that was gonna be fantastic. Listen, after dealing with so many different women and living all over the world and speaking multiple languages and understanding different societal perspectives, religions, backgrounds, right? I'll tell you right now, all women are the same when it comes to their chassis, the frame, and the biological makeup that drives them, things that they react to. They might have certain nuances behind their culture and their religious beliefs and the society they're from, but they all respond to the same thing. I can tell you as a man who has been to over 35 plus countries and lived in multiple different societies. And so as I started to develop as a man and do my internal work, right, I was going crazy dealing with so many different women. And I started to take a look at myself and realize that I needed validation. So I started exercising periods where I wouldn't have sex with women, and I would take a real good, ugly look at myself and start fixing on myself. Did ceremonies such as ayahuasca, things of that nature. And the truth is, fellas, depending on whatever you want, if you want multiple women, cool. If you want to be with one woman and get married, cool. But you have to focus on yourself, period. I'm a firm believer that when you focus on yourself and build a life that you desire, right, you make way for the correct woman to come into your life. As I said before, there is no one. Listen to me carefully. The right woman or the one is the woman that fits perfectly into your life, right? I hope you understood that. The right woman is the woman that fits into the life that you have constructed. A woman is going to magnify what you give her. If you have stability, if you have a lot of great things going on for yourself, the right woman will magnify, augment that for you, right? So there is no concept of the one twin flame. I'm sorry to break it to you. From my experience, this is what dealing with so many women taught me. Because every time I thought I had met my twin flame or I had met the one, I had met this, that was me putting expectations on somebody, and I was always disappointed. Anytime you put expectations on somebody and you take things personal, you leave yourself to be fractured as a man. You have to move in a manner that is detached. So dealing with all these different women taught me that I needed validation. Most men need validation from women, right? They have to flex. They have to beat their chest. They have to show off their cars, their jewelry. They have to show off on Instagram. They have to put on a mask, right? Speaking of mask, something that womanizing taught me, because I got to gain a profound understanding of women, is that all women wear masks, especially in the beginning when they're talking to you. They're going to say everything that they know that you want to hear, and they're going to give you the illusion of purity so that you can choose them. But every woman has a sinister side. Every woman has a dark side. They're human beings. They're not these little precious pearls, right? And most women on this planet have a past, okay? And something else that they won't tell you that I learned from dealing with multiple women is the concept of first choice. You see, more times than not, you're not going to be a woman's first choice. She's not going to tell you that. You're going to have to be able to interpret the signs, right? And on the contrary, myself, after doing this internal work, I learned that the more I learn about myself and understand myself, the more I understand about people and human nature. Because I had to sit down with myself this morning as I was thinking about making this video. And I said to myself, right now, I'm currently dating two ladies, right? I'm honest about it. They know about each other. And I said, Dud, these women are not your first choice. As fantastic of women that they are, and they are. They cook, do great things for me. We have a fantastic time. And I'm not advocating for you to date multiple women. It's whatever you want, right? But for me, being candid, I'm at a stage right now where I enjoy seeing multiple women, but I said to myself, Dud, if the right woman were to come into your life right now that aligns with your standards and what you have going on, because I have a list and standards of things that I require in a woman, and yes, you better believe I work on those things myself, right? Because I don't believe that as a man, you can ask or demand something from a woman and you're not bringing the same thing. So I said, if that woman were to come into my life today, would I still be dealing with these two women or sometimes three, whatever, how many women I see? I said, nah, I would have no issue locking in with that girl. Well, and what do I mean by locking in? Well, a serious committed relationship, right? And I have to be honest with myself. Now, as much as I love women, and I really do, I enjoy feminine energy, if the right woman that came into my life to fit what I'm building, that could augment my vision, yeah, I would be with her. Could I be sexually monogamous to one woman for the rest of my life? If I'm being honest, I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. Is it impossible for me? I don't think so either. However, where I'm currently at right now, after dealing with so many women and working on myself to this point, which I'll be working on myself forever, I could be with one woman, but there would have to be some conditions, right? Some might say, well, Dud, is that fair? Life isn't fair. And I'm not here trying to be a good guy. I'm being myself. I'm being honest. And so after dealing with all these different women, one might say that, oh, it could fracture you as a man. Being candid, it can. I know there's a double standard that says that, if a woman sleeps with multiple men, that affects her deeply. And it does. But there's a stigma that says that if men sleep with multiple women, it doesn't. I think it's a certain degree different, but I do believe that also does affect a man in certain ways. For example, I oftentimes think about this, right? The reason I'm so selective with the women that I spend time with now is because a lot of women are head cases. People have things going on that they don't show. As I said, people wear masks. A lot of these girls are on pills, medication, because they have anxiety. They have all type of mental issues, all type of traumas from their upbringing, their environments, right? You don't know what somebody could be giving you, right? In terms of energetic exchange, in terms of spiritual. Some of you guys are messing with girls who bring absolutely nothing to your life, but because they have a pussy and they give you sexual access, you deal with their bullshit. But that bullshit is draining you energetically, it's stressing you out, it's costing you money, it's costing you time, right? It's pulling you back. And so when I was dealing with so many different women, womanizing, dealing with 5, 6 women, I was exhausted, I was lost, I was seeking validation. I was a coward because I was lying to these different girls. I was so many things, but you know what I wasn't? I wasn't my authentic self. And that's what womanizing taught me, right? At least now, if I want to date multiple women, and I do, I'm honest about it. Sometimes girls leave, but we always have an honest conversation. I say, look, I'm not in a place where I'm monogamous right now. Are you okay with that? I've had women tell me, yes, I'm okay with it. I just want this, this, this. And I've had others that say, no, I'm not okay with it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But as an adult, I respect you and I'm never gonna lie to you. That's the difference. There's nothing wrong with having multiple women if you're honest about it, if you're in position about it, and if you move about it a certain way. So after dealing with all these women and ladies, these are certain things that I learned, right? I learned about women. I learned about human nature. More importantly, I learned about myself, right? And most guys, we brag about these things and we glamorize these things, but really it's an overcompensation. And not every man is meant to be, alpha. Not every man is meant to have multiple women. Now, yes, we can argue that biology-wise, we're wired to spill seed. Absolutely. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, most guys can't even handle one woman. I'll say it again. Most guys can't even handle one woman. One of the reasons I love being around women is because women are always going to test you. Your woman is always going to test you to see if you're congruent. And most guys have to wear masks because, as I said before, they're overcompensating. So most guys, they crumble under the pressure of one woman. You start to get comfortable. She's giving you consistent box. You start to lose your customs. You start to lose your drive. She says, oh, can you just stay home today? Or can we just do this? Can we just do that? And slowly, you start to go into her frame and her lifestyle, hang out with her friends. I've fallen victim to this, where I was in a woman's frame and they always left, right? So these are just some of the things that I learned, right? Most guys can't handle one woman. They can't handle the test, the psychological manipulation of one woman. A woman is going to show you exactly who you are as a man. There's a couple of things that show us men exactly who we are. One of those things is fighting, right? Pain is combat. It's going to reveal yourself to you. And another thing is, a woman. A woman is going to test you, because she needs to know that she can trust you. So a man doesn't know if he's a true man until he has a woman. The same way I believe a man doesn't truly become a man until he submits under God. There's certain things that reveal ourselves, right? And so, fellas, These are the things that I've learned from womanizing, man. I learned about myself. I learned about human nature. I learned how most of us men haven't done the inner shadow work, and we overcompensate by flexing to the boys. Oh, I just smashed this chick. Oh, I just did that. I did. When you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, that's cool, right? But you start to become a free thinker and a sovereign man, mid-20s, late 20s, 40s. You start to think like there's more to life than just sex. There's more to life than sex. That's the truth. And as a man who still has an extremely high sex drive, and I live in countries like Turkey and Colombia, right? Places that have absolutely gorgeous women. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't draw attention. I do. I'm in shape, I'm 6'5", right? I take care of myself. Many women present themselves to me and give me opportunities. And I've learned how to discipline myself in that aspect, right? That's how you know when you're really in control, is when you can do something and you don't do something, right? In fact, at the beginning of this year, I took a 3-month sex fast where I didn't have any sexual pleasure, nothing, because I wanted to work on myself more. I also brought in this year with a 72-hour water fast with my private community, Modern Day Renaissance Man. So you must always exercise discipline. Even if you're dating multiple women, there's periods where you could just say, hey, look, for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be doing a fast and, we can't have sexual relations. And if that bothers you, you're more than welcome to leave. You have to be detached. You can't be stuck to anything. And so this is what I learned, fellas. Being a womanizer and being with multiple women isn't always what it's all cracked out to be. I know in this space, we beat our chests, we brag about it, we talk shit about it, right? I know that most men, quite frankly, the modern man doesn't have a lot of sexual access. I know that. But as a man who does have a lot of sexual access, and I get it, right? Because you see comments, for example, from people who have a lot of money, and they be like, oh, money isn't everything. And then you see comments from people who don't have it and be like, I'll be the judge of that when I get the money. I used to be one of those guys. Like, yeah, all right, motherfucker. Money don't matter to you, but you have 100 million in the bank. I'll be the judge of that when I get there, bitch, right? So, you guys are gonna have to experience this for yourself. But as a man who has been with a lot of women, you get to a point where you're laying down one night and you're like, damn, I slept with 85 women this year. And what did it bring me? My bank account is lower, stressed out, multiple pregnancy scares, right? Like I'm drained, like what did it give me? Okay, I might've had some experiences, right? That I paid for. These women are bills. Like, what does you sleeping around for no reason? The women that I'm seeing right now, they do bring value to my life. I film content with them on my other channel. They help me behind the scenes, cook, clean, great positive energy, right? They do bring something to me. But you just laying down with a woman just to rack up a number and just accepting a woman because she's beautiful is asinine. It's frivolous. It's like there's no reason. At a certain point, you gotta be more selective with the people that you spend time with. And so womanizing and just sleeping around for no reason with multiples of women all over the world has taught me these things. And I'm never embarrassed to share these personal stories with you guys, because my hope is that this can give you some perspective and that this can help you think, this can help you become a sovereign man, and this can help you clean up some things in your life, or maybe clear up some things that you have been thinking about or things that you have been considering, right? Womanizer, man, if you want to do it, go ahead. I know a lot of us men are hurt. A lot of us have been done dirty. I've been done dirty by women. But if I'm being honest with you, every time I've been done wrong by a woman, it's been by my doing. And what I mean is, I saw the signs and I chose to look at the potential. That's an error. We have to think logically. So womanizing caused me to get my heart broken multiple times and caused me to learn valuable lessons that I now teach my clients. So if it wasn't for experiencing so many different women, my business wouldn't have been thriving the way it is. I wouldn't have acquired as much wisdom as I've acquired. So if you guys want to go down that path, that's on you. But from a man that had experienced mountains of women, I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't. Because you can become, the average man can become jaded if you really see the true nature of women, which is crazy. The hoes out here are crazy. But if you can maintain the correct perspective and become detached, like I mentioned, you're gonna accept life for what it is. And the truth is, this is just one big primal competition. And women are always trying to see if they can get the best. Unfortunately, a lot of men are settling for what they can get, but at a certain class and echelon, men are also going for the best. Because if I'm being candid, like I said, the women that I'm seeing are not my first choice. They're very phenomenal women, but I know when that first choice comes along, I'm gonna apply pressure. You feel what I'm saying? So this is, if we just uncode societal layers and formalities and etiquette, this is just one big primal reproductive frenzy. And that's what womanizing taught me. Everybody is simply wearing a mask. This is just one primal fuck frenzy to reproduce, flex, hubris, and then die and perhaps pass on your genetics. I suppose that's what it's always been. Like I said, intersexual exchange, violence and combat, and spirituality truly reveal the essence of what it means to be a human being. Salute. You need to learn how to hack your mind and master all facets of your life. This is precisely why I created my community, Modern Day Renaissance Man. It's not enough to master one area. You have to be several layers deep in this modern day world. Click that link in my bio and join Modern Day Renaissance Man today. I created something super special for you guys. Poured everything into this community, these systems, and this program. And I'm super excited to be serving you gentlemen from all over the world.